Different kinds of web hosting. Have you ever wondered what different kinds of web hosting are? Do you often wonder how to manage different or multiple websites? Have you found yourself frequently thinking if you have proper knowledge of justification of hosting strategy? If yes, then you have landed on the right video. Welcome back to another episode of Colorful Finance, the #1 source for content centered around earning money from home. We provide you with theoretical experience in our videos and practical experience with the tools we provide you in the description. Subscribe to the channel so you're always up to date with our latest uploads. In this video, we'll take you through everything you need to know about different kinds of web hosting. Now let's get into it. There are several different kinds of web hosting, that is hosting your web page on one of their servers. What are the different kinds? There are several different kinds of web hosting. Several different web hosting. Free web hosting service. A free web hosting service is a service that is free, no cost to you. No money or credit cards are needed. Most free web services support themselves by attaching advertisements to your page in the form of banners, text links, and/or pop-ups. The majority of free hosting services assign subdomain names such as 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐿.com or subdirectory like www.forexample.com/𝐦𝐤𝐤. Some disadvantages are that you receive little bandwidth, advertisements, no guarantee of uptime, and don't allow some file types. Shared web hosting service. Shared web hosting service can also be called virtual hosting. This is a situation where there are multiple domains hosted on the same physical server and all share the same IP address or a set of IP addresses. Reseller web hosting. Reseller web hosting is a setup that involves you selling hosting as a reseller to your own customers. The parent hosting company then receives a portion of the hosting proceeds back to it. Virtual dedicated server. Although there are companies who may call this shared hosting, its true setup is where there are multiple domains on a series of machines not sharing an IP address, and many times the webmaster has shell access. Dedicated hosting service. Dedicated hosting is set up for one domain for one and its own set of IP addresses. This is the most common high-end host. Managed hosting service. Managed hosting involves a website hiring a company to manage its servers and to also manage the day-to-day routine of doing maintenance of the site, like backups of the databases and its cache files. Co-location web hosting service. The website owner would purchase a server and rent a spot in the rack location for the server to sit. They would then rent a block of bandwidth and a block of IP addresses to serve their web hosting needs. This is often interwoven with managed hosting services at the co-location web hosting service. This can be oftentimes the most cost-effective over a long span of time. Clustered hosting. This is the coup de grace of hosting, the end-all to beat all. The clustered hosting solution is for monster sites like MSN, Google, Yahoo, etc. In the most extreme cases, a company may opt for this. However, it might think at this point to hiring its own department and in-house servers. Whatever hosting type your site needs, be sure to do a little background check on the company and try to talk to at least 2 of its current or past customers. Also, think about payment options, and lastly about your needs. Web hosting for managing multiple websites. If you are making a comfortable living from the internet and the web, or have a plan to achieve that goal, it's likely that you are running more than 10 websites. The websites are your virtual offices. You want your sites to be up and running 365 days, 7 days a week, and 24 hours a day. Managing multiple websites is a daunting task if running one website is a hobby. The hosting strategy we propose is to host your multiple major websites with 3 to 4 different hosting companies and open a reseller account with another hosting company for small and new websites, web development, and backup. Hosting with too many hosting companies will significantly increase the time and the difficulty of managing sites, and using a single hosting company isn't a smart choice either. Justification of the hosting strategy. The cost of web hosting isn't an issue for running a single website, whether it costs $5 or $25 a month. The difference is only a few $100s or less a year. It's always nice and smart to get the most out of every single dollar in doing business. At least, a few $100s difference wouldn't make or break a business. If you run 10 or even 50 websites, the cost of web hosting alone will define the success or failure of your online adventure. To cut the hosting cost, the option is to use a reseller hosting account to host as many smaller new sites as you want for about $15 a month. You host 1 or 2 major websites with one hosting company. A shared hosting account costs under $10 a month, and a dedicated server will cost $50 or more a month. If your bread and butter maker website is down for a few hours, you'll lose hundreds of dollars and more. Even though most hosting companies promise 99.9% uptime, it's not common to see a website down for a few hours. A site could be down for a half day or even more if a hosting company is doing a major update. The hosting company may do the update on a weekend or a major holiday, but that's when many family-oriented and travel sites generate their revenues. If you could afford the loss of revenue, many websites owners can bear the psychological loss and pressure. Hosting your sites with a few hosting companies will reduce the risk of downtime. Application development. For simple web applications, webmasters will do development on the same production hosting site. If your e-commerce applications are complex, doing development on the production site may bring down the live site, especially if you're in the process of changing configuration files or installing customized applications. The option is to set up a website on your reseller account for development and testing, and move the applications to the production account on another server after the completion. Backup. If you're not happy with a hosting company is out of business, or the servers will be down for a day or two, you can easily temporarily or permanently switch from one hosting company to another, since you're familiar with the site managing tools already. If you have a backup or secondary copy running on another server, all you need for the switch is the transfer of the domain, which will take no more than a minute. And with that, we've reached the end of this video all about different kinds of web hosting. Let us know in the comments section down below if you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful and interesting. Remember to leave a thumbs up before you leave. Also subscribe to Colorful Finance and click the notification bell so you're always up to date with our latest releases. As always, thanks for stopping by and watching. See you again soon in the next one.